Hello, it's Ricardo and welcome back to Battlestar Galactica Deadlock, the Battlestar Galactica RTS game by Slytherin and Black Lab Games. So I'm playing the Broken Alliance DLC, and as a result of this I'm revisiting all the old missions from earlier on in the first season with the added benefits of veterancy and the additional ships that you can now command due to some of the updates that have come out. Battlestar Galactica Deadlock has now reached the end of its Season 1 campaign with Sin and Sacrifice. That's introduced many new quality of life features within the game, which I think are great. So we're going to take a look at this now, what I call a Protect Clothos mission. Clothos is the Cylon who is trying to, we don't know if he's trying to save humanity or what he's trying to do, but anyway, this Cylon has sort of like turned coat on his other Cylon brethren and is trying to attempt to look after the colonial fleet.
Sir, I've just intercepted an encrypted message. I've brought it straight to you. It's from the Cylon.
I request peaceful negotiations with the operational commander of the Daedalus. No Admiral Kane. No members of Quorum. Send a proxy to the following coordinates at Geminon to facilitate these communications.
Why does the civilian here have to point out that this is clearly a trap?
Commander, normally I would agree with Sinan, but I can't shake the feeling that Clothos knows something that we don't, but clearly should. We're so far in the dark right now, we may as well be flying blind. We obviously tell our people to prepare for an ambush, but I think it's worth the risk for whatever information Clothos is prepared to share.
Hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
So there you have it. Clothos is going to try and jump in and parlay, as it were, or defect, or whatever he's going to do with the rest of the Cylons. We're jumping in, as we can see on the screen now. There are Cylon marks on the Dreadus in the game system. We've got to get to a specific point and scout out all those Cylon forces. Now I've got quite a large contingent of Battlestars in play. I've got a carrier, an Artemis. I've got a Minivera. I've got a Daedalus and that Atlas carrier. That's got Vipers and Raptors in it.
Yes, sir.
So I'll try and go for air superiority on this particular mission. So we're going to move on. We're going to launch all our ships to provide a fighter screen and a show of force. And sometimes I've noticed when you do launch your fighters, they won't launch from a particular ship. Don't know what all that's about. Could be a bug in the game. I've also had a couple of bugs where I've jumped in like this, and the first thing that happens is all my ships rotate. It's quite irritating, but they do then rotate to the right sort of like vector towards the enemy, so that's not so bad. But seeing your ship spin is a bit weird. So we're changing the camera angle to see right from the rear, so we can see all the enemy contacts on the screen. And there's the green marker we have to get to. Okay, there we go. Everything's fine. Just a few minor adjustments to some of the Battlestar's headings that'll get us into play. Okay, here we go. There's not really that much to alter. We're just basically heading straight out. The Atlas isn't particularly fast as a carrier. It's a support ship. It's got big guns, no missiles. But loads of fighter squadrons as well in it, so you know, 2 Vipers, 1 Raptor, however you want to manage that. And we've got our planes in the air.
Commander, you are expected.
Here he is, Clothos the Cylon. He's jumped in. And we're all steam ahead, heading towards whatever enemy force that is in front of us. Okay, so our elevation for this seems to be about right, so I'm just going to steam ahead and steam in there.
We are being observed. Bring your proxy within shortwave range so that we can use more secure channels.
Receiving handshake protocols between the Basestar and our ship. It's heavy stuff.
And you've got a Cylon Basestar. That's Clothos' Cylon Basestar. So what you've got to do, right, is stay within that circle on this mission, right? I dare say things are going to go pear-shaped any moment. So I'm just going to reduce some of the speed on the Battlestars and keep them within that particular circle. Still got our squadrons flying around. No dramas there. We've also got the Daedalus Viper squadrons. Mark 1 Viper squadrons in support. As you can see, I got quite a few Mark 2 squadrons as well. Just going to recall some of the ships. Set others in defense. So if things go horribly wrong, and you know it's going to go horribly wrong, right? It's the Cylons. You couldn't trust them, right, to organise anything. I mean, come on, let's face it. The Basestar's rocked in, and there's going to be others there, isn't there? Right, it says keep your proxy with inside the Cylon radius of shortwave radio. So that's where we are. So to avoid crashing into the Basestar, we're going to have to make some heading adjustments now and try and circle it and protect it. At least that's what I'm going to do. Going to move our bigger Battlestars around. With the Artemis Battlestars then going to the right. Minervaras going to the left, and our carrier basically staying where it is. So far, so good. Nothing's gone pear-shaped.
Your escalation of resistance must stop.
Is it serious? It actually expects us to roll over because it said so?
I am the first of 3 IL models. We are the generals, the logic, the trinity of the Cylon.
A little bit of story from Clothos.
Only chance at continued survival. As the first of the IL, it is my purpose to perfect the Cylon form, to fulfill this divine mandate and manufacture a war profitable to both our peoples.
Yes, there you have it. Okay, if you like what you're seeing so far, and I hope you do, I mean, some of the Battlestar Galactica series I've done on the channel, I try to do one every week. Hit that like and subscribe button and look for that notification icon as well. It goes a long way to supporting me and supporting the channel.
Although it strives for peace, humanity is most
And we're still getting story from the Cylons. Oh no.
Everyday, domestic, military, what you invent, we integrate.
Okay, so
Each
far so good.
Evolutionary leap for my people.
Commander, you can't trust this robot. We're putting our people at risk for some Cylon evolutionary conspiracy that might as well be...
I'm not here
Alright,
to
so
attack
Cylon
your
Quade's
cause.
weighing in.
I require your cooperation, as you require mine. I seek
Okay,
negotiation.
great, there you have it. So,
As it is
Clothos
very
is
just,
saying
I
it's all about
deliver the full
negotiation.
control of my Basestar to the commander's console. My liberty.
He's handing over control of the Basestar. We're actually going to get to control a Basestar now. Okay, let's keep on going. Right, so we're going to launch all the Basestar squadrons because it's going to go mad, right? It's going to go absolutely bonkers. They're going to come into view. They're going to start opening up with all their missiles and what have you.
Understood.
So let's just launch everything. I'm just thinking how the Basestar has 200 armor points.
On it, Commander.
Okay, so we're still maneuvering round that Basestar.
Yes, sir.
And the screen says, defend Clothos' Basestar. So you just know it's going to happen. They've tipped you off to what's happening. I'll just drop the elevation of the Basestar.
Commander, some of the Cylon forces are activating.
To
So all the
minimize
Cylons are now
on both
waking up.
sides, this system of conflict must be stabilized. Escalation will only lead to humanity's ruin. Admiral Kane's unbridled ambition risks all of...
Sir, the Cylons are attacking their own Basestar.
We are too late. Lachesis awake.
So Lachesis awakes is what he's saying. So he's actually
Drive resets, my
woken up to what he's trying to do. He's trying to parley for peace. Cylons want the utter destruction of the colonies. Colonial fleet stands in the way. But at the moment, as you can see, we've got a honking great big Basestar. They've launched missiles at that Basestar. And we're nowhere near getting a missile lock or a target lock on those ships. So we'll set some of the Cylon raiders to defend the Basestar and defend some of the missiles that are coming in. But let's face it, it can take quite a few hits.
Squadron target is confirmed. On it, Commander.
Again, some minor course corrections. And with this Cylon Basestar, you've got the ability to change system processes and boost in areas and take away from others, which is a bit different to the colonial system. And it's not the fastest of things either, so like jumps in, bang, I'm the Basestar, and I'll launch my fighters, and my fighters can do the heavy lifting and cover all the distance. Nothing has yet revealed itself on the screen. Got an Assault Raptor in play. Now they're starting to reveal themselves. You've got Arachne, you've got Revenants, all the ones that I don't like.
Orders, sir? We're so far off script here, I've got no idea what we're supposed to do.
You require incentive. Very well. Deliver me from my executioners, and I will return to you the first of Sinon's miscreations.
Commander.
So what Clothos is saying here is that, hey, you know, be good and I'll give you the Galactica back. But Cylon Quaid has done a runner because he's been working with the Cylons.
He designed the Jupiters specifically to
and that's evident if you look at some of the ships. There's definitely a colonial flavour there. So he's been playing both sides.
You don't get to say that. Robots don't die. Robots are destroyed.
Death is death for all of God's creatures. There is no reincarnation, no reversion. A Centurion destroyed is a Cylon murdered.
Okay, so we're just going to take these things out now. We're going to get the guns on the go. We're going to fire missiles. We're going to split our force because effectively we got the Basestar, its missiles and its raiders. So that can concentrate on what's going on in the middle and what's revealing ourselves. Battlestars will come in from either side now in a pincer movement and hopefully take them all out. Let's do some focusing fire.
On it, Commander.
Again, doing some course corrections, getting the missiles fired from their silos so we can try and beat through their hull armour and let it go. So the Basestars have got 36 guided missiles, so we're going to let some of those go.
On it, Commander. Missiles on their way.
And then we can just steam ahead and let the fighter squadron of the Daedalus pick up any stragglers.
So say we all. Understood.
Okay. Again, so far so good. So far so good. We haven't lost any ships. Missiles have come in, we've dealt with those. They're starting to reveal themselves with the Revenants. You know, and with the story coming up, you can see how Cylon Quaid has turned round and sort of played both sides. The Revenant, very reminiscent of the Battlestar as well. So you can see there's definite sort of like design integrations. Now, I originally thought these designs were such that the Cylons, when they rebelled, just effectively nipped off with some sort of like colonial designs and were very based on colonial designs. Of course, as we see in the Ron Moore reimagination of things, they go for a more grown type of ship. Right? Very sort of like, I think it looks very sort of like subnautical.
What about my sister?
Anyway, in this game you can see it's definitely, they've channeled Cylon Quaid. We can only guess what's going to happen in Chapter 2.
If that thing has hurt Sam, I swear I will personally
Or Season 2.
and scrap it for parts.
But a lot of story here, so you know they're putting an awful lot of emphasis on the story. I mean, we are absolutely, with the firepower we have got here, we are pounding the hell out of the Cylons that are currently in system. Now there's an Argos as well. We're going to try and get rid of that. And then swing around then to the right and deal with the other ships that we've got there. Now this is what you call a long mission. It's a pivotal mission in the entire campaign. They've revealed that Cylon Clothos has been playing both sides. You've been given control of a Cylon Basestar with Clothos, who has told everybody, well, I am, one of 3 IL model Cylons, the generals who are actually organising this war, and he doesn't agree with it. He wants peace and everyone to go their own separate ways, but has he got an agenda? You just don't know. Things will have to unveil. He's promised that the Battlestar Galactica will be returned, so you know that the Cylons are holding them hostage. Great. That begs the question. I mean, with the Galactica crew held hostage and the Galactica out of the way and, not available until 10 missions into this entire campaign, have they been replaced by, infiltrated Cylon units in certain areas? You don't know, and that has that big question around Battlestar Galactica. Who is a Cylon? Who isn't? If Cylons look like us, and they don't yet, you don't know, but they don't, because you've got the IL model, which is their most advanced models yet. Are any of the Galactica crew Cylons? You don't know. Ooh, there's something to think about. So we're unleashing missiles now on the Cylon advancement on this mission. And with that, you've got the reload times. What I haven't seen with the veterancy system that's been brought in to Sin and Sacrifice is any sort of bonus to reload times. Now that would be good with veterancy, wouldn't it? Right, your ships have been around for 10 missions, you can keep reloading. Or, something's happened where you can store more missiles per class. Your engineering team has got a better way of, storing missiles in the ships. Because, you got a lot of missiles. They want to try and get you into close quarter combat and use the guns and your squadrons. It's not just missiles from afar, because that would be really boring. But I think as the game progresses and as you get those additional veterancy bonuses within Battlestar Galactica Deadlock, that would be a really good addition, I think. So starting to head up some of those bigger ships now. Basestar still in play. Hasn't taken much damage, if any at all, really. Cylon Raiders fighting side by side with the Colonial Viper and Raptors. Okay, here we go.
Yes, sir.
Still targeting some of the ships. Lots of debris in the area. Still some Cylon ships that haven't revealed themselves. This is going to be over really soon. And we haven't incurred any damage so far. The amount of firepower we have in play is great. Not to say that we won't incur any damage. That would just be foolish to suggest that. And that one Cylon on the left-hand side, those 2 Battlestars are going to deal with that. We're going to move the other 3 to start engaging the other Cylon threat that's yet to reveal itself on the right-hand side. Plus the Basestar in support with its missiles and its guns and its Raider squadron. So far, so good.
Understood.
Okay, so we're moving in. Guns on the side of the ships, especially on that Atlas. I give big guns they are, and they are lashing the Cylons. 2 ships remaining on the right-hand side. More focusing of fire. We're going to get our squadrons. We're going to do some repair as well. It's taken quite a hit, that Atlas, as well. As a support ship. We need to do a better job at protecting that Atlas.
Understood.
That Talon there as well. We're going to get some squadrons on that, I think, as well. It's quite a quick ship, so we're going to have to chase it all the way around. Fortunately, we got some squadrons, some Viper squadrons and Raptor squadrons. in reserve. Then we can get chasing that other ship. So we're going to lash it out with some missiles from the Basestar.
So say we all.
A few course corrections. Now, don't go crashing into any Cylons. And we haven't taken a hell of a lot of damage. The armor plating on the Battlestars has kept up. The Cylons don't seem to be putting up that much of a fight. Which is good. Okay, we're rounding on some of the last Cylons now. I'm going to get this cleared out so we can all get on with our lives. Those Battlestars are just going to take that Talon right out. Get our Raptors back in the air. That collide? Did that crash with an... It did. I think it crashed with that Artemis Battlestar. There was definitely a collision there.
Yes, Commander.
Let's swing around now. All guns to bear on the remaining ships. Do some repairs on our armory. Not that I see we're going to need any additional repairs, but you never know with this game. What happens is that you think, right, brilliant, I've done it. And you're down on missiles and all the rest of it. And what happens is then the Cylons jump back in. So do me a favour if you haven't done so and you're still with me, hit that like and subscribe button and also that notification button, and that'll let you know when I'm putting more Battlestar Galactica Deadlock videos and other games on YouTube. And a like and a subscribe goes a long way for supporting the channel.
Missiles on their way.
Last few Cylon ships now. We're going to take that right out. It's not a particularly heavily armoured ship. There you go, he's gone. Still, we haven't incurred too much damage. The Falcon, Artemis, we had a collision.
Minerva is taking damage.
That's what happened there. And we took that out. Other than that, we're doing pretty good. We're all starting to close on that final ship now. A few modifications to the flight plan of that Basestar. And we can see we've nearly mopped everything up. That'll take the last few hits now. That should go anytime soon. Fires are burning. The guns from that Minerva lashing it. If it hasn't gone, it's definitely going to go. That Cylon will definitely be dust next turn. End that turn. And he's gone. Excellent stuff. Now, have we missed any? This is the big question. And there's always one that happens to have snuck around. And it'll be a nemesis or something like that that needs to have a good old pasting. There's always one. As you can see there as well now, right? Our fleet is off in the other direction. We need to swing them round and chase the remaining Cylons. But we're going to use our fighter squadrons. We're going to use missiles from afar that are guided over distance, and we're going to take them out. You see some of the veterancy bonuses we've got there. Max distance and damage reduction. All good stuff. So with that done, let's get and watch that replay. It's been a long old mission, this one.
Weapons free, prepare for engagement.
Escort priority 1 still online.
Escort clearance zone is active.
Get him! Reloading. Firing solution is online.
That got a little messy.
Bingo score. We've got them now. They're breaking. Push the line.
Actual says to mop up and prepare for extraction.
No toaster's gonna do me like that. Not today. Order received to clean up and de-escalate. All right, let's bring our people home. Sweep the deck and prepare for catch. We're done here.
Time to clean up and go home. Prepare base for catch. There'll be Mark 1 eyeball any moment.
Again, thanks for watching this episode of Battlestar Galactica Deadlock, Broken Alliance, part of Season 1. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you think we should be doing next with Battlestar Galactica Deadlock. If there's any multiplayer deathmatching you want to do, let me know in the comments. Thanks very much, and look out for the next video soon.